everybody, Matt Swagger here. We're in Harlem and we're filming the second episode of our Rogues Gallery Road to Comic-Con. This time we're featuring two cosplayers. They're actually a dynamic duo. You know them, Angel and Kim, but you probably know them better as Archmax and Kim Bagel. So we're gonna go ahead and check out what they're gonna be showcasing for the New York Comic-Con, so stay with us. Let's go. What's up everybody, Matt Swagger here, and finally we have Angel and Kim. You know them better as Archmax and Jim Bagel. And we're here to learn a little bit about them before we get to showcase what they're actually working on for the New York Comic Con. So what's up guys, thank you so much for having us. Pleasure to finally see you. And, you know, we just want to know, how did you guys meet and get involved with cosplaying?
Look at me for the story, right? Okay.
Yeah, better memory I do.
So, pretty much, we met last Halloween, kind of, accidentally in person. We worked for the same company. And everyone's like, oh, you know, you should actually meet Angel because he likes the same thing as you do, because I was really hyped about my Superboy.
Yeah, I worked 2 different stores. So.
2 different stores, yeah. And I was so hyped with my Superboy outfit at the time that it was one of the first cosplays I just sewn together with 3 pieces of clothing. And on the Halloween Day parade, I was actually repping my Superboy outfit, and some guy in a Star-Lord outfit just pretty much kind of like pulled me over and was like, hey, I want to take your picture. And then he took
Well, I was actually more excited than that. I was not just a creep.
hey, mama, come here. I just want to have a little picture time.
Right,
here.
It was pretty awesome.
I never, really
at that time, I did not see like a good Superboy from a '90s Superboy, not just simply the T-shirt and jeans, but the '90s Superboy, which is pretty good. And I had to take a picture with her. I put my headphones over her. I was like, I don't know who you are, but it's
wow.
Take a picture, you person.
And that was my best friend.
Apparently, I was my best friend.
Pretty random.
And then the crazy part was we actually had a rally at work.
We didn't keep in touch after that.
We didn't keep in touch.
We didn't know who that
was.
was.
Yeah,
we didn't know
like,
who we were.
It was just a random
Just a
dude
small world.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because I was like, man, that guy was cool. I should have taken a picture or whatever. And I was like, whatever. And on Monday, I wore my Superman hoodie because he's one of my favorite characters. Sorry, Superman haters come in. But he's one of my favorite characters, and I actually was going like through one of the aisles of the seats, and when I had gotten up there, before I was able to get to my seat, someone was like, hey, I like your Superman hoodie, and he zipped down his jacket, and he had a Superman shirt. And
again, not being a creep, I was just having, had a thing underneath it.
It's like just for emergencies. I'm not following you.
And that was the last time that apparently we had met those 2 occasions without knowing we had previously met already. The third time around, the person who was trying to get us to know each other, I was like, you know what, whatever. Let me just add on Instagram and see what's up. And I'm scrolling through her feed. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know you.
I was like, at first I was like, oh, she met the Superboy. Nice. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's her. And then we actually got to meet each other, and she got me to buy Destiny. That was the first day I met her. She's like, oh, I didn't buy the digital copy. I'm like, no, I like it hard. That was my first line.
I like it hard.
Yeah,
I like it hard.
That was hard.
That's an icebreaker.
Right?
Yeah.
It was great. And then after that, we just started talking, and we got to know each other, and then we started dating, and then he was like, I go to all these cool conventions, and I was like, oh, I wish I could go with some of these cool conventions.
And I'm like, take my hand.
And then now, we just constantly like doing
He
this
showed you
together.
the way
It was
cosplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. And, now that we know the story about how you two met, now, how early on in life were you into comics, cartoons, superheroes of that nature? What made you get into it?
Well, I grew up with it. Like most kids, my generation, they just grew up with it. My brother was, my older brother, he was already collecting comics. I wanted to get into it. At that time, I looked up to my brother, so as most younger brothers do. And at that moment, I was just collecting comics and drawing. I loved drawing them and all that. But the whole cosplay idea, I never knew was there for a really long time. And I got into this relatively recently. It was actually 2012.
2012, wow.
Yeah.
About 3 years.
I bought a costume, a Spider-Man costume.
Okay.
And at that moment, I went to New York Comic Con, had a blast. Or just one day, I only went to Sunday.
Okay.
And
it just opened your eyes.
And apparently it opened doors. The College Humor had contacted me.
Really?
Because of a friend of mine who works in a bar. He was like, "Oh, person's looking to film a video."
Wow.
I'm like, "What? I'm gonna get paid to actually have fun?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sure." So I actually filmed their film. They were advertising King of the Nerds.
Spider-Man with a flak jacket and a gun, kind of working. What do you think, Angel? How you feeling about the setup here?
Well, I think it's awesome. I mean, why did Marvel think about this in the first place?
I met a whole bunch of cosplayers, and from there on, I was like, "Holy crap, this is actually a thing." So I was like, "There's more conventions than New York Comic Con."
Oh, it's plenty. Yeah.
And after that, I was like, "Oh, I got into it." I started buying stuff that I needed, making stuff that I needed, getting into more cosplay, more characters. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Mine is like totally weird, but my mom taught me how to play video games with my brother when we were little.
Okay.
Super Mario Brothers 3. She would just teach us all the old school games. Then my brother started playing more. Then we would actually go to like this. It was like this. It was Dragon something. It was like this comic store back in Yonkers. I forgot what it was called, but they had pretty much the RPGs, board games, and everything like that. And then I got into that. I got into comics, and then shortly after, I actually got into anime.
Nice.
And I started doing like all these anime things and kind of wanting to kind of cosplay some of the characters or whatever. And then I actually got back into comics, and I went to my first Comic-Con. I think it was back in 2009.
Okay.
And it was with my best friend because we read this manga called DramaCon, I think it was, and it was about this girl who pretty much did like a Comic-Con festival art or whatever. I was like, okay, I wanted to do that. So so pretty much I would also draw as well. And in college I went to FIT and I became an illustrator, and I started doing things on the side because I wanted to become like a illustrator, but I wanted to have my own company based on all my 13 comics. I've been writing it since the stories because of the comic books, because of the video games, because of the anime. Like all of it inspired me. And then when I did my first cosplay, it was Link, and it was so terrible at first. And it was like a big oversized t-shirt that my dad had sewn or whatever. And then the next year I actually did Ash Ketchum, and I just got into the habit of kind of doing like crossplay. Because
she pulled it off a little too well.
A little too well.
I'm like, this little boy, never met this little boy.
A lot of the girls have big boobs, and you know, it's not fair.
Gender bend.
So yeah, so then I tried it again, and at first I wanted to do Batman Beyond armor.
Okay.
But I got into the habit of waiting like a month before the con, and I learned like my first lesson not to do that. But I didn't learn because I totally did it for spider armor, and I pulled this off in a month.
I work better under pressure.
But then after that, I was just like, you know what? Let me actually try Superboy, and I went a few months back, and I took like 3 pieces of outfits and I sewed it together with the help of my dad, because I'm not good at sewing. I tried, and I made the emblem from scratch. I drew it out and everything, and it came out pretty cool. I was pretty successful. So then I wanted to go to cons, but I didn't know like what other cons to go to, and it turns out that's when he opened.
And
there you go.
That's great. It's great that two people with so much of the same kind of likes and interests can actually meet and get along. Because usually opposites can only interact with each other for some reason. So it's great that two people can come together and share in their passion and interest. I think it's great, and I'm glad that you guys love anime. Big fan of anime as well. Cool. Dragon Ball Z. Just saying. What was your first anime that you ever seen?
It was 2 actually. It was Ranma, Ranma and a Half, and Dragon Ball.
Nice.
I was 9 years old, and that's how I got into it. I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. Of course, I saw the uncensored versions, so all that stuff all over the place, especially with Ranma. My God, I didn't realize that till I was old. I'm like, was this for kids?
Japan's a totally different place than America. Yeah, a little less uptight, but...
And of course, Dragon Ball, when they introduced Trunks, that's when I was like, holy crap, future Trunks, to be exact.
Yeah.
I would grab machetes from the backyard, Dominican family. And I'm like, Fuck yeah, I'm trucks.
I'm chopping up Frieza.
Plantains and shit.
Get those tostones, man.
Yeah, man.
That's great. And how about, what was your first anime that you seen?
Astro Boy. And
Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
When they made it into an animation, I was like, this is kind of cute and cool. But it was Astro Boy, and it was after Astro Boy, it was Dragon Ball Z because of Toonami.
Yeah.
And it was Pokemon, all that. And one of my favorite ones that stuck with me that I didn't realize was Yuri till I was like after high school and college was Revolutionary Girl Utena Tenju.
Yeah.
And she's like one of my favorite, like she's the reason actually I crossplay because she's like a prince in the whole anime. She's really cool and everything. She like saves the rose bride.
Anime can get away with all that
This is,
stuff. I
this,
love
is
it.
actually, this is actually a secret lesbian relationship.
Oh. Whatever
He's
works.
into that.
You guys are doing good. You see the chemistry in the pictures and everything, so keep up the good work. That's great. And how about you show us some of the cosplays that you're actually working on for
Yeah.
Comic-Con? That'd be great. All right, so Kim is just going to show us what she's working on for New York Comic Con.
Hi guys. So for Dragon Con, I originally did spider armor as a test, you know, from the 90s, also from the 90s animation show, which was great. Pretty much one of my favorite Spider-Man costumes, and one of the most complicated ones for no reason at all. I don't know why I do that. I'm like, yeah, it looks simple, yeah, I could do this, and then I'm like doing it, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is crazy. But it was my first test for armor pieces, because I've always wanted to do armor pieces, and I've used craft foam, Wonderflex, to start with, so it's pretty durable, so I'm pretty sure if someone were to shoot me, I'd be okay.
Oh, God.
But let's not try that.
No.
So what I actually did was, first we made my dummy so I could have something to work out of duct tape and saran wrap, so we took time wrapping each other and cutting each other out, shoving it with paper. Fun experience, sweaty experience, but really fun. What I did was I took everything and I pretty much drew it from scratch. Art skills, really good to have it just in case, but you don't have to have art skills.
Not everything comes out of the box already done for you.
So pretty much what I did was I took everything and I measured my pretty much my waist, my bust, everything, every piece that I need, height, width, everything. And once I got the estimated estimations or guesstimations, then I would actually draw them and then I would redraw them if I didn't like it. I would start over and over again, and once I got the pattern, I would draw it on tracing paper.
Okay.
Then I would redraw it on actual paper, and I would actually have spare pieces. Then I would cut craft foam pretty much onto it. Once I cut the craft foam, then I would do it again and cut Wonderflex so I would have that stability.
Nice.
Because if you guys dealt with Wonderflex before, it's very, very, what's the word? Not stable.
Yeah.
Can't think of the word for it, but it's
Flexible.
very flexible. Couldn't think, I don't know why.
It's all right.
And then what I did after that was I layered it, I cut it again, but then I cut the squares on top of it, and I layered it, and I did the pieces. So I have a belt, I have the torso, I have the upper chest piece here. The shoulder pieces are attached by Velcro.
Great.
One of the problems I was running into Dragon Con was it was so hot, so the pieces were sweating off me and falling off.
Man.
So what I plan to do is just, we have buckles and straps, and I plan to actually wrap them here so it's actually steady. Same thing with here and the arm pieces, so they're they won't be as loose.
Okay.
I'm gonna redraw the spider, cut it out again, and make it out of Wonderflex.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have it smaller because one of the problems was it was dangling off the edges, and this was just something I was just doing like, oh, let's see if it works. Another issue I had was it's a little, when I put this on for some reason, I didn't take account into flexibility. So I'm gonna add a layer here and a layer there, pretty much so I can still move. And last but not least, we're gonna work on the boots. And of course, I got a new face shell,
Nice.
which is gorgeous. It's one of my favorite face shells now. I'm in love with it. Breathing comfort is actually amazing. And I'm gonna work on the armor again. Unfortunately, I ripped off the armor because I was too excited and I wanted to see if it would fit. It did not. It's a different piece. So I'm actually gonna work on the back piece Dragon Con, I didn't have a head and I didn't have time.
Okay.
So I only did the front piece and it actually still looked pretty cool.
Okay.
But I'm gonna actually just do it again. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. All right, so we're here with Angel now. He's going to show us what he's been working on.
So I've been working on Iron Spider. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man costumes. I originally did Spider-Man, so I was like, you know what? Let me amp it up a bit. And with Civil War coming out, I was like, oh crap, this is perfect. I originally got this dummy, of course, courtesy of my girlfriend wrapping me around and, tying me up. I mean, no, not that part. But the same concept that she did was saran wrap and duct tape. Cool. Did a mold of my body. And then I wanted to see what the idea was to create it, because I wanted to do it. I wanted to do like more of an authentic but cool look. Didn't want to do like the Ultimate Spider-Man series, which is like too far apart. It looked kind of weird. So I kind of did a bit of both. So I did a cutout of drawing paper and cut it out, see how it's gonna look. I was like, oh, this looks perfect. It's supposed to wrap around all the way to the back.
Nice.
And at that point, I did this.
All right.
So I grabbed some adhesive spray. Actually, this itself is I'm sorry, not Wonderflex. Foam, just craft foam. I coated it because I coated it with plastic dip, and then I spray painted it because otherwise it would just smudge off. It's a little worn because I gave it a couple of test tries over there at Dragon Con.
Oh, Dragon
This
Con.
needs, of course, touch up. Of course, it wraps all the way to the back, and as well, it has the Spider logo in the back, which is identical to Jim Bagel's Spider armor.
Awesome job, guys.
This one over here, of course, has a bit more to do. I'm gonna get these adjusted to add the zippers on the side, so I can actually put them on and take it off more comfortably. And if you're asking why I have this glove on,
Why do you have that glove on?
it's because I'm actually gonna put a repulsor right over here.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna be cutting it up, and the click is actually gonna be when I click it. This is actually what Peter Parker calls his Waldo. This is part, of course, of the Iron Spider costume. This is going to be attached to the back, of course, and I wanted to make it super light, so this is actually aluminum. And believe it or not, this is actually a tripod.
Very nice.
A really cheap tripod I bought. Disassembled, got some tools.
Ingenuity.
Now it actually looks like a spider legs.
It does.
So it's going to be attached to the back end. Hopefully I actually get this working. It's going to be fantastic.
Looks very crafty. Excellent.
This is my makeshift vent over here. It's like a spray paint.
And is there anything else you have to show us with your costumes?
Well, currently, this is of course the headpiece for it. These are actually commissioned.
Wow.
Of course, I don't have the space over here to do much, so I do what I can, and I commissioned what I can in this case. I'll make everything else. That was about it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for showing us that. On behalf of the Rogues Gallery, we want to thank you so much. Really appreciate the time. Look forward to seeing you both at Comic-Con.
Definitely.
All right, we have to see your finished product.
It's definitely going to be a work day. By Sunday, I'm going to be like, fuck Comic-Con.
You need at least 2 days to decompress and just to like, oh my god. You get to like the withdrawal from the con life though.
Yeah. It's con life, man.
It is. Cosplay is serious. And on behalf of the Rogues Guys, Matt Swagger, and for Angel and Kim, you saw it here first. Thanks, everybody. And you too, Stephen and Mel. We want to interview you.
Do you remember me, Stephen? Do you remember me? We had a moment.
Steven, if you're seeing this, remember Angel's moment with you. And we want to relive that experience on the Rogues Gallery. Alright, we need to hear about
You're
this.
special,
meeting.
but there's somebody else.
I would too, I don't blame
John Barrowman, if you're watching as well. We love you, Captain Jack. And also Ray Shagul. We heart you. Yeah.